welcome on into another episode of Getting Well with Terry and Friends. I'm Terry, that's Occupancy, and we are ready to break down today's slate. We have preseason hockey, we have baseball, we have football. There is everything today. Obviously, most people's focus is on the NFL, which is totally fine, but we will still go over the other sports. I don't have the updated show standings because Sunday mornings it's early and it's tough to get those done. So show standings will be Monday to Saturday. I'll have them updated for tomorrow. So we're going to jump right into preseason hockey. Now, it's not going to surprise anybody what game that I am focusing in on, and that is the Colorado Avalanche and the Minnesota Wild. And no, it's not just a blind pick on the Wild. The Wild released their lineup yesterday. You can get the Wild minus 115. You can get Colorado minus 110. And I do see run lines there as well, plus 200 for Minnesota's run line. I'll be betting that as soon as the show is done. The reason why, the Wild will have Kirill Kaprizov. Let me get the exact name here. They'll have Kaprizov, Eric Sinek, Foligno, Rossi, Dumba, Middleton, a couple other defensive prospects, Kalen Addison, Carson Lambos, and then in goal, it'll be Fleury, and it'll be Jesper the Wallstedt, the Wild's future goaltender, franchise goaltender. Yet Wild are only minus 115. And then if you look at the other game that Colorado has, because they do have a split squad, so they are playing a second game later on against Vegas, they're minus 180. So what that tells me is that Colorado's good players are playing in game 2 against Vegas. How the Wild are minus 115, I don't really understand, but I'm taking them minus 115, and I'll be also on the run line. Still, mine's still in baseball mode. I'll be on the puck line. It's nice to say that again. Puck lines, mine plus 200 for the Wild. Kaprizov will play with Goudreau and Ryan Hartman, so not his regular line mates, but I'm confident in the Wild in this spot. Even in a preseason game, I'm confident here. Occupancy, preseason hockey. Did you have a chance to look at preseason hockey at all today?
Yeah, Terry. So the one game I was capping, there's no line for on my book, but I'll just do a really quick 30 seconds on it just in case anyone's interested. That's the Capitals versus Sabres. The Capitals are putting out a lineup that does not have Alex Ovechkin, Backstrom, really any of the people you'd expect. Whereas the Sabres have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen back. I'm just looking at the lineup they tweeted out. Asplund, Krebs, Cousins, Hinostroza. So I would be taking a look at Buffalo for plus money, but like I said, my book doesn't have it. So that was the one game I was interested in. We'll see if I can get to any other games a little later today.
All right. Tim, who is probably still doing ESP with Nick currently, he's on his Sabres today as well. I was hoping to see Tage Thompson or Owen Power, or hoping to see a little bit more depth on Buffalo's side for me to pull the trigger. But I wouldn't talk anybody off them at plus 125, though. Ryan, welcome on in. Have you looked at preseason hockey for today at all? If not, that's totally fine.
No, I haven't. I have no leans on today's preseason hockey. I'm doubtful I'll get involved preseason.
Yeah, it's not for everybody. A lot of people don't even touch preseason, but I like to bet on it when there's edges. So very selective in preseason. Looking at baseball for today, I do have 4 picks The first one is Atlanta and Philadelphia. I like the over 8.5 in that one, basically because of Gibson is pitching for the Phillies. He's been getting rocked for the most part lately. Morden has had two somewhat good games against Philadelphia and two not really good games against Philadelphia. So both games have gone over in this series. In the two games they played each other the last 2 days. Atlanta was trending towards the under before that, but they have kind of went to the over here against this Phillies team. I think that continues here, over 8.5 for me. I will be taking the Blue Jays plus 122 against McClanahan and the Rays. Both pitchers, Stripling and McClanahan, are coming off really rough outings their last game. But the game before that against Toronto and Tampa, they both had really good games. So I'm also expecting a lower scoring game in this one, but at 6.5, I can't get involved with under in baseball at 6.5. So I won't be on that. But I like Toronto at plus 122 in this one. I think it's going to be a close game, but I look for Toronto to win. And then I mentioned on yesterday's show the stats when it comes to the Padres and the Rockies and the Padres' record in Colorado. So Colorado has now been the underdog in the last 16 home games against the Padres, and they've won 14 of 16 now after losing yesterday. Yesterday definitely was not the right spot, and that's why I didn't jump on them. But today here we've got Clevenger and Kyle Freeland. Freeland in his last 4 starts has not allowed more than 2 earned runs, and a couple of those starts here in Coors Field. He's pitching well at home and in general lately. And on the other side, Clevenger is coming off a good game in his last outing, but was getting rocked hard before that. Now he's coming to Coors Field. I think this is a great spot for the Rockies' first 5 and full game. So I'm on the first 5 run line minus 110 and the full game money line plus 130. I like the Rockies in this spot as another underdog. They've had success against the Padres in the past. We'll see if they can do it today. We'll go to Ryan first this time. Baseball, MLB, anything in baseball you like today?
Yeah, I have 3 plays I like today. I'm on a play I've been playing a lot. I'm on the over on tonight's Red Sox-Yankees game. And I just feel like there's a lot of ways this game could go over. Both teams hit well. I like Brayan Bello. The way I think of him is his initials BB. He gives up bases on balls, so that's his flaw. But he pitches well, and I think.
Oh, Ryan's internet might have cut out there. Does look like he cut out. So we'll go back to him here in a moment. Oh, you're back now.
Okay.
Yeah, you're back now.
So,
you just cut out for
over. There could be rain tonight, but I think the rain just might help the over. If the pitchers get shelved, then we go into 2 bad bullpens. So I like it. I like this over. I'm on the under in the Mariners Royals game. It's Castillo versus Castillo. I think Luis Castillo can probably shut down the Royals, and I have no reason to believe that this Kansas City Royals pitcher can't pitch well, and the lineup hasn't been strong. So I like the under in that game. I'm perplexed about some of the totals. I don't understand why that Phillies total is 8.5. It should be an 8, in my opinion. So that looks like I disagree. I think that looks like an under spot, but I'm not playing that one. And I'm taking the chalky Guardians line. I think those lines have been fishy all weekend, and I'm going to bite. I just don't see why the Guardians don't win this game easily. And Savali's pitched well. Perhaps like some of his inflated ERA, maybe that's the reason why that they're giving us such an attractive line on the Guardians. But if you look at his fielding independent ERA, that supports that he pitches well. So I'm playing this chalky Guardians line.
Right. Occupancy, any baseball you like today?
Yeah, there's a couple games here. Getting into first one being Reds Brewers, Lodolo versus Peralta. Peralta's been pitching pretty well his last few outings. He's got ERAs mid threes, FIPS in the low threes. Team's won 2 of his last 2 starts. Just because I've been riding the Brewers so hard in the last 4 days, I'm leaning to step away, but at the same time, they're still in this wild card battle. So Brewers minus 150 on the money line, or even a small play like maybe a half or quarter unit on the run line at minus 1.5 plus 110 is what I'm seeing. That's the way I'd approach that game. Next game is going to be Nationals Marlins. Edward Cabrera is a nice young pitcher from the Dominican Republic that I've been backing when he's on the mound. His FIPS are a little higher, like mid fours, high fours, really. But his ERAs are really under 3 right now, so he's good. He tends to let up a few runs, but I think he's still a solid pitcher. The prices aren't too great here. And his strikeout prop is really juicy, over 4.5 at minus 170. So again, the only way I'm really probably going to get involved is like a quarter unit or a half unit on the minus 1.5. So obviously I can't give those out for the show because it's based on a full unit, but just like on the personal note, that's what I would look at for that game. Next one up is going to be Kansas City and Seattle. Luis Castillo just signed a deal that's going to keep him on the team for 5 years. So I'm pretty sure he's really pumped. And his strikeout prop, I've been following. And the one game where he had 9, that next game they set the line at 7.5. And it was just a little too high for my liking, but they brought it back down to 5.5 now. And that's at minus 137. So there's still a fair amount of juice with it. But I mean, think about if you just signed a deal and like you were going to go out there and shove. That's what I think Luis Castillo is going to do today. So I will bet that over 5.5, and then maybe even like drop it 1 and parlay it with some football things, or even raise it 1 for 6.5 and parlay it with some football things for props. But I think Seattle will win the game as well. And the last game, it's just going to be kind of the Padres Rockies. I mean, I haven't gotten to put anything on yet, but just the way the game went yesterday, and was Blackman. Blackman wasn't in the lineup yesterday, and neither was Crone, right? For Colorado, yeah, they don't have either of those players, and the bottom of the lineup. To be honest, I don't really recognize too many of those names. So I'm gonna have to go with the Padres again to take care of business. But again, minus 150 on the money line is not great. So you got to get a little creative with it. And again, these aren't going to be full unit plays if there's that much juice, but smaller plays on that run line. And that's what I got today. It's not it's early here out on the West Coast, so we're still kind of getting woken up and coffee and everything. So
No worries. I appreciate you coming on. We will go on. BetStamp, use code WILD when signing up. Find the best odds for whatever you are betting. I haven't brought it up today because we're kind of doing sport by sport instead of breaking down all the games, because there is a ton of games. If we broke down every game, we'd be here for hours. But use BetStamp and find the best odds for whatever you are betting, and find me there at Let's Go Wild Picks, and see what books are available. Sign up for as many books as you can and get the best odds. It really does matter. And also, you can find my premium play and my best bets at Picks and Parlays, and on the website on earlsportsbets.com, which you can find the link in the description below if you want to purchase my best plays. But we will go on to NFL, and I will run down my NFL card. So there is a little bit here. I'll start with my 4-team parlay. So I've kind of stayed away from parlays for the most part for the NFL season so far. But there's 4 teams I like all to win today. So it's plus 359. Minnesota Vikings, Kansas City Chiefs, Buffalo Bills, and the LA Rams, all to win, plus 359. I am not on the Rams in any other form except for on the money line. I don't like the minus 3.5. I do see minus 3s now, but the Bills and the Rams have a long history of domination against the teams they're facing. Buffalo has won 9 of their last 10 games against Miami, and they covered the spread of 4.5 in 8 of those 9 wins. So Buffalo is definitely taking care of Miami, and the Rams have won 10 in a row against Arizona, or 9 of 10 as well. They have absolutely dominated Arizona. So I like for those streaks to continue. Going on to the individual games, Detroit, Minnesota. I have Justin Jefferson over 98.5 receiving yards. I think Jefferson has a big game for the Vikings today. I'm also taking Amon-Ra St. Brown to get a touchdown for Detroit. Detroit's definitely going to score their fair share of points as well. Amon-Ra St. Brown has been their top receiver, and he's plus 130. I got him for plus 135 to get a touchdown. So I'm on that as well. And the over 52. I see a high-scoring game here between Detroit and Minnesota. I think we could see back and forth. And then obviously I'm hoping the Vikings will pull out the win there. Dave says Lions money line. No, absolutely not. Hey, they've been playing well, so it's definitely possible. This is a test for the Vikings. If they're actually for real and as good as myself and others have thought they are, they need to show it against Detroit this week. The next game that I'm interested in is New Orleans and Carolina. I'm on the under 41.5. The last 3 meetings between these two teams have gone under, and I don't believe in either of these teams' offenses. So it is a low number, 41.5, but I like the under. Going into the Bills and Miami game, I am on Buffalo, minus 4.5. And Stephon Diggs, anytime touchdown, minus 110. And also Stephon Diggs over 82.5 receiving yards, minus 113. Josh Allen over 277.5 passing yards for minus 113 as well. I see Allen passing the ball a lot to Diggs. And if that happens again, like it has the first 2 games of the season, I should be able to cash all 3 of those props in that game. Allen and Diggs have just been amazing together the first 2 games of the year. And then Tampa Bay, money line against Green Bay. Brady still getting the job done, but it's Tampa's defense that's really getting the job done. And I think they'll be able to hold back the Packers and Rodgers and get the win at home. They have won both games against Green Bay since Brady has come to Tampa, and I think they make it 3 in a row. So that is it for me currently. Occupancy, NFL, what do you think here?
Yeah, really should be an exciting day on the gridiron today. I know there's a lot of money to be made today. People like actually take off and just focus on this and use this as like an income day. So really good luck out there to everybody who's relying on this money. I have 4 2-leggers that I'll give out here. The first one is with Terry. It's the Vikings money line and the Bucks plus 5.5. That's right around plus 100. I have a half unit on that. The next one I have is the Bills money line with the Chargers plus 3.5. That's a little over plus 100, about like plus 105, plus 110. I have a half unit on that. The next one I have is San Francisco, Denver, under 50, and over 46.5 for the Lions, Vikings. That's also right around plus 105. My last two-legger is Baltimore, total field goals over 1.5, with Tampa Bay total field goals over 1.5. And that's going to be more around plus 200. If you look at the kicking stats, you'll kind of see why we led to that. That was a community play, also a nerd talk. And then right now, the only single I have is Matthew Stafford over 0.5 interceptions. If you take a look at his game logs, there aren't many games where he doesn't throw at least one. It was a little juicy around a minus 140. And we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I mean, that's football today. I'm gonna watch the games and kind of see if there anything else speaks out to me. But right now, those are the way I'm leaning.
All right. Yes, my background is gone. My computer, for whatever reason, sometimes it just disappears. So interesting. But Ryan, what do you think here, NFL?
Yeah, I have one play, and I'm on the Niners money line, which is minus 120 right now. Basically, after the Trey Lance injury, Garoppolo went in, and I thought the offense clicked. And I understand it's really disruptive to have start a season with one quarterback and go to another, and they have to swap out pages of the playbook. But from what I saw, it looked like they were able to get lockstep with that new offense. I think the Denver Broncos, they've got so many new pieces. They've got new coaches, new coordinators. They've got a bunch of free agents on the defensive side, and it looks pretty rough to my eyes right now. So for me, I think the bet is on the more established players, a more established team, and I think even though it's disruptive to have a new quarterback, I think the Niners get it done. The Broncos may be a playoff team, but I think bet on spots on them are going to be later in the year. It's going to take a while for them to gel. They just got too many new parts. So for me, that's the best bet of the day. I have a few other leans. I think it looks like the Eagles should take care of business against the Commanders. There's also a center injury with Washington, and those can be really disruptive. There's a lot of spots where a lot of these road favorites look good. And that can be dangerous because we all know that home dogs do well in the NFL. So there are a number of spots like this. I lean the Lions actually as well. And I think, again, the Vikings, their spots are going to be later in the year, in my opinion.
All right. We will get to the best bet segment. I will pull it up here. And we'll start with dog of the day. Or sorry, we'll start with the over-under, as we usually do here. For me, I'm going to take Detroit and Minnesota. I think you can still get 51.5 minus 110. Perfect. 51.5 minus 110 is my over under. Tim is going with Kansas City, team total under 28. Dave is going Detroit Lions, team total over 23.5. Occupancy, do you have an over under today?
I couldn't get to one today.
No problem. Ryan?
Mariners Royals under 7.5.
Sorry, under?
Under 7.5. Yes, and it's about minus 115.
Okay. And then going on to dog of the day. For me, Blue Jays money line plus 125. Tim is going with the Commanders plus 225. Occupancy, you're going with the Houston Texans plus 140. Ryan, is there a dog that you like today?
No dog for me. These don't work out for me, so I don't want to give them out. But I lean. I think the Red Sox are a live dog, but I'm not playing it as an official pick.
All right. And then going on to best bets. Yes, I'm going to do it. Minnesota money line NHL preseason. I'm confident that they take care of the Avalanche here in game one. Preseason play will be put in the other section. It won't count in the NHL section because I want the NHL section to be NHL regular season the full way through. So we'll be putting it in the other section. Minnesota Wild money line minus 115. Tim is going with the New York Jets plus 6.5, minus 115. Dave is going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers money line minus 115. Occupancy, you're going with Seattle's Luis Castillo over 5.5 strikeouts, minus 137. Ryan, what do you think here for best bet?
San Francisco 49ers minus 120.
All right, San Francisco money line minus 120. And that is today's show. Not a super long show, but everyone's busy with NFL football in an hour, so everyone is getting their tickets done. So thanks everyone for watching. Smash the like button if you like the content. Smash the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. We appreciate all the support, and we'll see you again tomorrow for other episodes. Getting Wild with Terry and Friends. Let's beat the books, and have a good one, guys.